Okay, hello, this is Dr. Janes, and today I'm going to talk about how to make a vacuum chamber with a large mason jar and a brake vacuum pump. Okay, I have some uses for vacuum chambers, and we will see if we can get this to work. Let's talk about this. So I did a separate video on this vacuum pump. It's a hand pump where you just pump this with your hand, and I had a little chamber that came with this guy, and I was able to pull a vacuum on that, but I'd like to get a bigger vacuum chamber so that you pump it like that, so I can do some bigger things, because I need to do some stuff with a bigger vacuum chamber. Okay, it should be interesting. So I think what we're going to do is I have one of these nipples for hooking up a hose, and I think I'm going to try to drill a small hole in the center of this lid, and then maybe glue this into there so we can hook our pump hose to that nipple, and hopefully draw a vacuum, be able to open up the jar with the top, from the top here, and put stuff in there and then draw a vacuum on it. Okay, should be interesting. Okay, so I looked for a drill that's pretty much the same size as the diameter of this thing here, this nipple, and I figure if I just drill a hole just about the size of that nipple, then I'll be able to stick that through the hole and then glue on the surface, because we've got a lot of flat surface here, and that should, remember, glue has strength from the force that it exerts upon the surface. More surface area means stronger glue, and so this has a nice flat surface around here. That's why I'm using this part and not some of the parts that came with that brake bleeding kit. And so let's try drilling a hole, and then we'll see if we can stick this through and glue it. Okay. Okay, so here we have our ball top, and here's our drill, and I'm going to have to probably put the camera down to drill a hole in this so it doesn't walk around. But we'll drill a hole through that and then see if we can put the nipple through it and glue it in place. Okay, let's see where our nipple go. Oh yeah, let's see our nipple right there. Put that through the hole. Okay. There, we drilled through. And we'll test out the nipple on that to see how that works. Okay, so here's our top. I might want to clean it up a little bit, but make sure our nipple will go through there. Maybe a little bit small. Let me fiddle with it first. Okay, so it looks like I was... Okay, it looks like I was able to stuff the barbs through, and now I can't pull it back out, so I'll just get the glue ready and glue around here and then fasten it in place. Okay. Okay, so here I got some epoxy, which is the strongest type of glue there is for a lot of... It depends on the application, actually, but some glues are stronger in other applications. But this is a generally strong glue, unlike super glue. And here we have our part that we're going to glue up into there. And I need to get something so I can mix these two components together. That's 5 minutes. I'm going to have to work fast. 5-minute epoxy. Okay. So there we go. I'll have to work fast when we do this. Okay, I got them out of the package, and I just wanted to make one more statement before I move on, is that these types of glues are probably not good for super high vacuum. So some of you vacuum enthusiasts out there might say, oh, you can't use that in a vacuum. You can use it at a, I'm not going to go down to the 10 to the minus 6 scale or something like that in a vacuum. I'm just going to go down to moderate pressures, So, because what happens is that a lot of things, if they're not rated for vacuum, will do what they call outgas, which means that they will evaporate and put a bunch of gunk into your vacuum as vapor. They have a vapor pressure that will allow them to evaporate. And yeah, so these are probably not the best for ultra high vacuum, but they should work at the levels of vacuum that I'm planning to use them at, which are moderate, like not even what do I say, a few millitorr or something, not even that much, because our vacuum pump won't be able to reach that low probably. So for our applications, it should be probably good. So we'll give it a try. Okay, so you need to mix the epoxy first, and I guess I'll just mix it on this cardboard thing here. And we need to put equal parts, so cut off the tops. Maybe I got to do more than that to open it up. Let me see. Okay, I just removed this top here. I guess there's a seal you have to take off or something. Let me open that up. I don't want to get goop on the camera. Okay, with these epoxies, this should be equal parts of both. So I'll just make a line here. Okay, that should be enough. I think that's the hardener, probably. The other one's the resin, I think. Okay. And, you know, epoxy is a chemical reaction, so it shouldn't dry just in air, but I'm going to cap these off anyway. And got some sacrificial toothpicks here. You need to stir this really, really good. Okay. Because I've done epoxy before, and I didn't stir it well enough, and it was a total frickin' mess. Okay. Get this stirred really good. Okay. Yeah, it won't harden if you don't have it stirred up really well, because it is a chemical reaction between the two components. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the epoxy in between here. Let's see if we can see this. Okay. I'm just going to goop it around here. Get it all the way around the perimeter of this guy, like so. Okay. Make sure it's completely surrounded by the epoxy, and then I'm just going to press it down, get it, hold it in place, and get a good seal with that. Okay. Maybe I'll put some epoxy around the top too to make sure it's sealed. Okay, so here's a little bonus. I have my thermal camera out, and I just wanted to see epoxy is a exothermic chemical reaction, so I just wanted to see if I can see the chemical reaction on the camera, and it looks like I can, because that's where I put the epoxy right there. It's not much above room temperature, but it's a little bit above. See? Definitely looks like a higher temperature spot there where the epoxy is. So it looks like the epoxy is curing properly. So just more nerd science stuff. Lots of fun, huh? Okay, so I've let this part sit for quite some time now, and it seems like the glue is pretty firm. Now let's try sticking her on the vacuum chamber here. I have this big, I don't know what that is, 2 liter maybe, canning jar, and let's get some light over here maybe. Okay, so we'll mount that on top, and we'll get the lid screwed down, and let's hook up our vacuum pump to this, and let's see if we can pump this thing down. see if it's holding a vacuum. Okay, let me, looks like it's holding a vacuum kind of, but it's probably got a big volume. Let me try pumping on this for a while, and we'll see what we can get this down to. Okay. Okay, so I've been pumping like crazy on it, and I've got it down to about 15 inches of mercury. Is that right? Inches of mercury? Yeah. Let's take a look here. And let's see if I can get it down lower than that. Keep on pumping on this thing. Gotta build up my wrist muscles, I guess. Let me put the camera down because it's a lot of work doing this. But it looks like it's working. It'll probably work for what we want it to do, some of the things. Okay. I'll pump on it some more and see what we can get it down to. Okay. Looks like we're getting it down to about 20. It's not too bad. See if I can get it down a little bit lower. Okay. Keep on pumping on this stupid thing. I think there might be a little leak someplace, but maybe that epoxy's outgassing. Maybe it's not completely hardened yet. But we should be able to do some interesting experiments with these type of pressures. Okay. Okay, so there we go. Let's see, let's take a look at our vacuum chamber here. And we're down to almost 25. I'm getting a little bit tired of pumping on this thing. That's not too bad though, right? Okay, imagine if I pump more, it becomes exponentially less efficient, or slower the longer you pump on it, or the lower you get. So, almost 25 inches of mercury. Okay. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, do some interesting things with our little vacuum chamber here. Okay. And I found a special technique. When you start getting low, you want to do rapid transitions like that and then pause for a second, and that seems to pump more efficiently. Okay, anyway, so here's our vacuum chamber. This is Dr. Janes, and thanks for watching.